Okay, so I figured I'd show you real quick how I figured out what the problem was to be able to explain it. Um, First off, I'll go over what all we've got here. Like this is your kill switch, which is a little odd how it's done. I can tell by looking at it. Somebody literally took a booster cable and just kind of hacked it up to use as wiring, which was a little strange, but would work. But some of the things they did could introduce new problems that I'll go over. Things you got to know in electrical work. Like one is length. Whenever you're working with a wire, you want to make it as short as you possibly can. Now, if you're forced to, like if you got your battery in the hood and you're powering something in the trunk, hey, you have to. But or at least with a power wire. Now, a ground wire can be anything that's a large hunk of metal. So whereas your power is going to go all the way back to your battery, your ground can just go to the nearest big chunk of metal. But this, for one, is causing this ground to be very long. So it's got to start here, go all the way back there, go all the way inside the car, this kill switch. Then at the kill switch, turn right back around, come all the way out here. So there's a ton of added length to this ground. And also, the longer you run a wire, the more resistance. So about the only way to make up for that is get thicker wire. 8 gauge would normally be sufficient for a ground, but at that length, it's probably not. Here's the test that confirmed for me for sure that this is what it is. This is my test. This is not how I'm going to leave it, because as you can tell, not professional. I'm not going to do that to you. This was just my test. But this is an additional ground. It just goes here to here. And at AutoZone, I was trying multiple times to start. I was even bringing out, the different booster packs. I was bringing out big booster packs, throwing the big dogs at it, nothing. Now, with a booster pack, even though you do hook up a positive and a negative, the booster pack does not have a ground. It is borrowing the car's ground. Now, if you boost off from somebody else's car, you're borrowing their ground. So their ground in their car would fix your ground problem. But a booster pack will still have the same problem. Now, I started suspecting that when I noticed this wire was getting hot, but this wire wasn't. So I pretty much did the same thing at AutoZone. I took some booster cables they had and just clamped here, clamped from the screw back there. And so now I've basically rebuilt that same test here just to confirm. And now that I've done this, watch. Perfect every time. Just bad grounds. I've seen it many times in different ways. Not this exact ground problem, but one similar where the grounds were insufficient. I had to change them. I even had a problem with a car on once, kept frying alternators until I found and fixed it. But that's essentially what it was, because again, we can keep doing it. No problem. It's the ground.